Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast, Stay Sharp, the podcast brought to you by J. Allen Training. Man, I'm so excited to hop into this topic we got for you guys today. We're going to be talking about compliance. But before we even talk about compliance, I want to remind you guys this podcast is meant to be listened to with an open mind. We're both students here. I'm going to be learning from you guys, talking to you guys about various different things in the comment section, through the DMs. You guys are going to be learning from me. So let's walk into this with an open mind. Let's be ready to learn. And right now, you guys are going to be all ears, and we're going to get into some good heat on some compliance. So I'm gonna hop right into it. Why I chose to bring up compliance today is I feel like everything that has to do with fitness and in terms of results starts with compliance. And in my personal opinion, compliance is just really your humbleness to be able to submit to your greatness, to be able to accept the great things that you're deserving of through working for them, through the sacrifices you make. And while that's super huge, you have a lot of people who they miss the concept of compliance when they talk about anything in health and fitness, whether it be diet or certain exercises, a certain lifestyle to live to gain results from. And they think of what works for others, and they measure themselves up almost against others results, others opinions, instead of what they are actually willing to comply to. And then for that matter, even deeper than that, just complying to something in general. um, the biggest factor I would tell you guys, man, if you're wondering what's the best diet, what's the best form of exercise, what's best for you, I'm going to tell you right off the rip, it's what you're willing to do. Um, if you think that keto is the best way to go and you got results on keto before and you're willing to comply with it, that's going to be the best diet for some of you. Some of you are only going to lose weight through that diet 'cause it's going to be the only system that you believe in, or it may work in your lifestyle for various different variables or different reasons. It may be paleo. It may be a form of exercise that works for you, where maybe doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week, followed by full body lifts at least twice a week, may be the best program for you to lean out to optimize your results. And for others, they're going to be able to lift with no cardio depending on their diet. And it's just going to be a change, but it's what you're willing to comply to. It's going to be the best thing for you. There is no one shoe fits all type thing in this thing called fitness. Besides the factor of calories in, calorie out in terms of weight loss, or even weight gain for that matter, to be honest, there really is no one shoe fits all in this realm of health and fitness. So compliance is going to be the biggest factor. What's even deeper than compliance, so from a trainer perspective, is complying to those you actually seek out to get help from. That's huge. And you would think, why would someone not comply to someone they asked to get help from? But you would be damn surprised. There's people out here who will literally pay you and not follow the advice or program that is given, for various different reasons. One of the most common reasons I find is that a lot of people think they are above some of the work that may be given, or a given task, or they can give more, and they operate on a higher frequency when motivated. But the thing about a good program is, a good program is built for sustainability, and it's built for you to have longevity in that program. And that program from a good coach is going to factor in the days you aren't motivated. So in those days, that's where we're going to really get our money, is being able to build a structure sound program in those days you aren't motivated, to make sure we can keep you going and not necessarily have red line, so to speak, workload. And for those of you that don't know the term red line, maybe my marathon runners out there do. It's basically balls to the walls, another way to put it, type of work ethic every single workout, because for the most part, that's not applicable for most people in terms of sustainability. I would say, honestly, for all people, even athletes out there, that wouldn't be sustainable at all to be able to go 100% each and every time. Um, so I have an example with one client that I actually just got done with a conference call, and not too long ago, and we were discussing the factor that this client was doing extra work during their runs. So in my fitness app, I'm able to track your heart rate via your Apple Watch or Fitbit, and it'll monitor your heart rate as you do the time runs that I give throughout my workout programs. And this particular client happened to be running at a higher heart rate for a longer duration than what was given. When asked about it, the client just simply stated that he felt that the run was easy. He had more work to give. He had more to give the program. He felt motivated, so he knocked out a little extra. Now, while on the surface, this does sound very, very excellent. One thing I want people to keep in mind is that when your coach gives you something, they give you something with what is held in the future in mind. So if I'm building a program, I'm structuring a program where I may have you do A, B, and C on these given days. Well, I know what your next week's program might be looking like, versus that might be information that you don't when you apply yourself to do more than what's given. And I know that some of the results can be thrown off or very, very difficult, near impossible to do for the next week if we overtrain in the week previous. So it's very, very important that you comply to those that you at least seek out to get help from. And a bigger reason why it's healthy to comply is not only so you can get results, but so that if the coach is full of shit and he sucks and you comply and you're not getting results week after week, then you would know to actually go on and move on to a different source where you can actually seek out help. If you don't comply, it's not really much evidence you can really give when you're not giving getting results, or you may have too much difficulty within the program and you ask for a shift in the program or change to make. There's not a lot of evidence you can really give on why you may need to actually seek out different forms of help. Basically because you misconstrued the results, or you kind of defeated the whole purpose of what the program was structured for. So compliance is even important in that way. But in a nutshell, compliance 101, without bringing in any other factors of scientific literature, it's going to be so important, for one, that you comply to what you're willing to do. You're realistic about what you're willing to do, and you're humble in your compliance. You never think that you're above anything. Nothing is beneath you, and you're willing to accept wherever you can start. And if you're going to seek out additional sources of help, be humble in what's given. What's given adds up, and greatness takes time. And don't think that you're going to earn the right to get to where you want to be who you want to be, or lift how you want to lift, or eat how you want to eat, or look how you want to look, or whatever the goal might be. Don't think you're going to earn that right in a day, because it doesn't work like that. It may not happen in a day, 3 months, a year, 2 years. But the factor is that anything that revolves around health and fitness, I personally believe any result that you can get from it that's beneficial is always going to be beneficial tomorrow as it is today. So there's never going to be any length of time that could be too long to get to those results. So in my opinion, that's compliance 101, without factoring in a lot of the scientific data and literature that states which exercise might be better for this or that. I'm going to tell you, it's going to start with the one you comply to. And that's not to say that that scientific literature has really no backing or no strong evidence to prove itself for exercise A to be better than exercise B, or show more results, or diet A to show more results than diet B. Most of those are going to be totally valid if you do your homework, do your research, but that's a whole nother podcast. We'll go over some of those factors. But the first factor is going to be compliance, being humble, and actually submerging yourself in your own humility to be able to get a humble start and get the ball rolling with what you're willing to accept. And that's at least a hell of a start in this thing called health and fitness and getting to your goals, guys. So that's compliance, take one. I hope you guys picked up some mental jewels from that, maybe some good knowledge. I can't wait to do it again. Next podcast, I'm thinking we're probably going to start hopping into actually talking about humility during exercise, why we find reasons to quit, and how to get through that thought process. I want this podcast to be a lot more of the mental side of health and fitness and training, more so than just all of the scientific literature, because I could sit here and read you 10 out of the 30 books I have on my bookshelf that be stating different factors of scientific literature about health and fitness and exercise and diet. You could look up the same shit on Google, but I think there's some things that you take experiences from as a coach, as a bodybuilder, an athlete, and just someone that just loves getting in the gym and getting after it. And you only can gain that knowledge through your experiences, and I like to share that with you guys. So there's that. Tune in again for the next one. Be on the lookout for that on my social media. You can find me on Instagram at j.allen. You can find me on YouTube now, J Allen YouTube. You'll see the link for this more than likely on any of my other social media platforms. Facebook, same thing, J Allen. And download the training out today, J Allen Training, brought to you by Stay Sharp. You guys stay sharp out there. Let's get it.